Hello students, so welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to study the factors which are going to affect photosynthesis. So see here, the rate of photosynthesis is important because then only we can determine the yield of the plants. It is under the control of several factors. The photosynthesis is under the control of many factors like internal factors and external factors. Internal factors are also known as plant factors. Now, see, plant factors are depending on the genetic makeup of the plant. So they will be dependent on the genetic makeup and the growth. So it is dependent on the genetic predisposition and the growth of the plant. Please important NCERT line. What are the plant factors include? These are the few factors related to the leaf. So you will see number of the leaf, size of the leaf, age of the leaf, and orientation of the leaf. Okay, 4 factors are related to the leaf. Next factor is mesophyll cell. Obviously, you know it is occurring in the leaf. It occurs in the mesophyll cell of the leaf. In the leaf, obviously, chloroplast and amount of chlorophyll plus internal carbon dioxide concentration. This is very, very important. Internal carbon dioxide concentration. Now, external factors are 4: availability of sunlight, temperature, carbon dioxide, and water. So all these factors will affect its rate. Though many factors interact and affect photosynthesis, but one factor is the major cause to limit the rate. Hence, at any point, the rate will be determined by the factor which is below the normal level, means below the suboptimum level. So when many factors affect any biochemical process, then Blackman has given a law that is known as law of limiting factor, which says that if chemical process is affected by more than one factor, then its rate is determined by the factor which is near to the minimum value. Means if you change that value, immediately you will find the rate is increasing. Clear, beta? Now let us study one by one. First, study light. It affects 3 ways. First is quality of light, because plant can capture only PAR, photosynthetic active radiation light, which is coming from 400 to 700 nanometer. Then light intensity, dim light or strong light, okay? And then duration of light. We'll be studying in detail about light intensity. See here, there is linear relationship between incident light and carbon dioxide fixation at low light intensity. So there is linear relationship at low light intensity. But at high light intensity, we find that the rate is not increasing further. It might be some other factors might be becoming a limiting factor. So we have to see that light saturation occurs at 10% of full sunlight. Increase in the light beyond it can cause the breakdown of chlorophyll and decrease in photosynthesis only. Duration, it never affects photosynthesis. Hence, except for plants in shade or in dense forest, light is rarely a limiting factor in nature. Now see, this is the diagram of NCERT. This is the light intensity and this is rate of photosynthesis. See the question. At A point and 50% of B, okay, A and 50% of B, you're finding light is a limiting factor. This is important question of your exemplar book also, as well as given in your exercise back. Please understand this question carefully. Now, in this region, not only light, other factors can also be a limiting factor, might be carbon dioxide, water, can also be a limiting factor in this region, which I have discussed right now, A and 50% of B. Now, what does C indicate? This C indicate what? It indicates a stage beyond which light does not increase further photosynthesis, because now the light is not a limiting factor. It might be some other factors are working as a limiting factor. What does D indicate? D is the line beyond which intensity does not affect photosynthesis rate, and it shows light saturation point. Means that 10% saturation which we are finding, it is represented by D. Now come to the next factor, that is carbon dioxide, which is the major limiting factor. Please, it's major limiting factor. And concentration of carbon dioxide is in the atmosphere is this much right now. And we say if it increased to up to this much, means 0.05%, it can cause increase in the fixation. Beyond this, there is a damaging effect. Now, both C3 and C4, they respond differently to carbon dioxide. At low light condition, no one is responding to high carbon dioxide. Please understand carefully, at low light intensity, no one is responding to high carbon dioxide. But at high light intensity, both will show increase in the rate of photosynthesis. What is very interesting to note is that C4 will show saturation at 360 and C3 will show saturation only beyond 450. To understand, C3 at 450 and C4 at 360 never match the same thing, okay? 3 and 3 should not come together. Understood, beta? Thus, right now, availability of carbon dioxide is limiting to the C3 plant. Now, C3 plant, we know they respond to high carbon dioxide by increasing the rate of photosynthesis. So we have used this to increase the production of greenhouse crop, that is tomato and bell pepper. And they are grown in the carbon dioxide enriched atmosphere. Atmosphere carbon dioxide is never a limiting factor for C4 plant and for submerged hydrophyte. This is extra information out of your NCERT. In few competition they can ask. Carbon dioxide compensation point is a point when rate of photosynthesis is equal to the rate of respiration. For C4, it is 0 to 10, and for C3, it is 25 to 100. Now, temperature. See very carefully, light reaction is temperature sensitive and dark reaction is temperature controlled. Very important statement question. C4 plants, they respond to high temperature and they show high rate of photosynthesis. C3 plants have low temperature optimum. And temperature optimum will depend upon the habitat in which they are living. Tropical plants will have high temperature optimum and they as compared to the temperate plants which are living in the temperate areas. Water, you know very well, water is one of the most important reactant of the light reaction, but effect of water as a factor is more through its effect on plant rather than directly on photosynthesis. Water stress means when the water is less, it can cause stomata to close and thus carbon dioxide availability reduce, the photosynthesis decreases. It can also make leaf go for wilting, thus reducing the surface area and obviously metabolic activity also decrease. So see here, water stress can cause stomata to close, as a result, reduce availability of carbon dioxide, then photosynthesis decrease. It can also cause wilting of the leaves, reducing the surface area and thus again decreasing the photosynthesis. So I hope so in this video, all the factors, internal and external, might be easy for you now. Thanks for watching.